Hi guys, welcome to the Next Generation Baller Show. I'm your host EP. Sorry about last night. I know I was supposed to do the previous show last night, but I had a one-to-one session, got back late, traffic, all of that. So I'll give it to you now. Early morning, just before we kick off. Big games today. Big weekend. Skying off. It's kicking off. It's kicking off. Don't forget as well, we are sponsored by you guys, Self-Made Savage. Don't forget to hit us up. 20% added discount code. Yes, added discount code. And we got something coming for you very soon. Also as well, Sound Supreme will be coming with you guys with the team rankings. Yes, the team rankings will be coming. Something new, something fresh for us. And also as well, tomorrow for the Bound Up Show, I haven't forgot the fans. We'll be getting the fans back in. So from tomorrow, we'll be starting hearing more people, getting their opinions, getting you guys on the show, getting involved. Yeah, so it's not just about hosts, it's about you, the fans. It's about everyone's opinion. We want to get everyone's opinion. We want to get everyone's involved. Let us know who you think is smashing it, what teams, what young players, and who do you think is going to be smashing it this season, man. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So start off with a big one. Kicking off in about what? I think it's like 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. That's why I'm so disappointed I didn't do it last night. But we have got Chelsea versus Man City. Biggest game of the season so far. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is the biggest game. This is, we won't say the title decider. I call it the title shape now. Yeah, this one is going off. This one here is going to set the trend. And it's ironic because Man United, who is also third in the table, is playing at the exact same time, but Liverpool, who also is playing today, is playing at a later time, which I think is a 7:30 kickoff. So it's going to be a bit mad today. Today's going to be a bit mad in regards to the title race. We've got a big game, obviously, tomorrow as well with the London Derby. We'll talk a bit about that later. But wait, let's get into it. Chelsea versus Man City. Well, Chelsea got no Mount. Man City got Stones back, Laporte, and Rodri. We've all seen the start that Chelsea have had. Unbeaten start to the season, smashing it. Lukaku's in form. He's ripping it up. Top of the table they are. On goal difference, on goals scored, I think it might be, if I'm not correct. How do I see this one playing out? This is a big game for both teams. The reason I say big game for both teams because everyone's been talking about Chelsea and how good their squad are and how arguably they're one of the best teams in the world coming back from their Champions League victory that they had last season, and with the players that they managed to bring with the likes of Lukaku and Sauniguez. And it's interesting to see now where they're playing against the big teams, what kind of performance they're going to put in. Because we always see Chelsea is the type of team that they can work any team to the ground and get results. And they've managed to do that against the lesser teams that you will say. But now it's against the big teams, the top six, you will say, the top four. Can Chelsea go out there and put in a good performance? No Mount, one of their talismans. Lukaku's there. He's ready to perform. Mendy's back. He didn't play in the Carabao Cup, but he's back. He's ready to start. A lot of talk about Rudiger as well. Rudiger, obviously, there's interest talking about him. Obviously, his contracts and stuff. PSG, Real Madrid, interested in him, and he's looking. Some people are saying he's one of the best defenders in the world right now with his current form, and I can't deny that because from what I've seen of Rudiger, he's been solid at the back and he hasn't conceded many goals and he hasn't made many mistakes. So with regards to Rudiger and Chelsea, that might be a big asset into them in today's game because we all know with Man City that they don't have no striker. And there's obviously all the talk over the summer with Harry Kane, even the conundrum with Ronaldo going there, that was never going to happen. But all that situation with them, and they never managed to get a striker in the end. Now, it's interesting to see that Man City Man City haven't had the best starts of the season. It's been a bit up and down season for them. They started off slow with that defeat against Spurs. Then they got a draw. Then they started picking up wins, and then they got that draw against Southampton, which is kind of weren't they back again. But then they've got that huge victory in the Winning Cup, even though it's against a team in the lower division. So it's interesting. So for me, it's a bigger game. It's a big game for both clubs, but it's a bigger game for Man City. Man City have to win this game. I don't even think a draw is enough for Man City. I think if Chelsea get a draw, they can say, all right, cool, we've got a draw, we'll move on. Like, City ain't having the best of times anyway. They're going to go and drop points. But in regards to the rest of the rest of the league, they will be looking at this game either or either, because a draw or a defeat to any two clubs is beneficial to each team. But I think more so on the Chelsea side than on the Man City side, because if Chelsea go on to win this game today, it's going to be set a big, big, big statement. Like, it's going to set something to say, you know what, we're here, like, we're romping away with it. We've beat the champions. Let's go and have it. So for me, today, the Chelsea players at home, it's a good chance for them to go and win this game. And Chelsea's won Chelsea's won 3 of the last 3 games of this. So won the last 3 games against Man City. But Man City have won 3 of the last 6 away games. So it's interesting to see that. And that was in all competitions in regards to Chelsea. So Man City do manage to get results at the Bridge. So them Man City players can come to this game with confidence, knowing that they have got a team that has experience of winning against Chelsea at the Bridge. And with Rodri back and Laporte and also Stones, who knows how fit they are, Man City have been a bit shaky. I know Ake stepped in, but they just haven't seemed reassured with him and Diaz at the back together. Can Stones come in and solidify that partnership the same way that Rudiger and but that's the difference with Chelsea, though. We talk about centre-back partnerships. Chelsea have probably rotated the whole team. I think this is what's been remarkable about Tuchel, that he's been able to just chop in and out players, and Chelsea just still performing. And I think that's the problem, especially when you get to Man United as well, is that we lost against in midweek, but it's the change. So Tuchel's managed to able to just he can rotate a whole team, a whole squad, and they're just going out and performing and getting results. And for me, that's the qualities of a top manager. When you're going out there and you're getting results with whoever's on the pitch, because some say, oh, you're best 11. Me right now, I don't think Tuchel knows his best 11. And I think that's one of the hardest jobs he's got right now, is the fact that he can pick any team and go out there and get results. Every player will expect to be playing on that pitch. So that's even much more harder as a manager, when every team that you're putting out, they're winning. Every player's going to feel that I should be starting and winning games, right? So it's really interesting and it's really peculiar to see what's going on at Chelsea. So can they manage to keep that run on? Obviously, last season, their biggest doubt was that they didn't have a striker. Now they've got Lukaku, who's already got 3 goals this season. Correct? I'm sure he's got 4. But that's the guy that they needed, and he's looked like he's ready. Looks like he's here. So in regards to this game, it's a topsy-turvy one. I do see a victory in this. I don't see a draw, because it's such a big game for both teams for very different reasons. And I feel like something has to give. Something has to give in this game. And I think with the quality on show, I could see Paul will see a good performance. My prediction in this game, I would say, I say 1-0 City. I see 1-0 City. The reason why I say 1-0 City, I just see Pep Guardiola just really, really being the tactical master in this game. Just trying to get in there and just really trying to. But the same thing with Tuchel. Tuchel, it's going to be difficult. I stick with it. I say 1-0. I say 1-0 City. 1-0 City. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You can see it all below. Don't forget as well, follow me on Insta. Follow us on Insta as well. Nextgenballer Show. And also, don't forget, I'm a coach, I'm a scout as well, working for very different clubs. So if you're interested in anything to do with football, you want a one-to-one session, you want to join our club, hit us up, join us, give us a message and let us know, and we'll get you guys involved. Yeah, so moving on to the next big game of the weekend, obviously, United. Come on. But it is it's interesting to see what's going on with the situation at Man United. Obviously, all the talk with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, all the talk with Sancho. Obviously, Man United got knocked out in the midweek against West Ham. And for me, on my personal side of views, when I see a bit, like, I'm not taking too much into that, because last season we had a bad start to the league and finished second, and these times we've had 2 bad results in cup competitions. One cup we're still in and have the potential to get out without a problem, which is a much bigger competition in the Champions League. And the second one is the Carling Cup, where we done well all the way last season, got to the semi-finals and never won. And me, perfectly honest, if I'm being honest with you, if Manchester United went on the season and won the Carling Cup and, say, finished third, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy with that. Considering we finished second in the league and the team that we got, like, I'm expecting, I'll be happy. I'll be much further us getting knocked out in the Champions League. I'm knocked out in the first round of the Carling Cup. Go on and have a good title race, win it, back up, lose it by a couple points, and do well in the Champions League. So that's for me personally. And all the stick about Oli, I think he needs to pipe down. Everyone just needs to give him his chance just to better team. He's got a new bunch of players. You know how he's a good manager. He's done well with what he's got. So just give him time to work with what he's got. So in regards to the game, Man United sits second in the league. Aston Villa sit 10th. Man United at home, you know they've been struggling at home with their home form. But in regards to Villa, they've won their last 5-6 games against Villa. They won the last 5 games against Villa. And for me, I see that this is going to be an uphill task for Villa. I know Villa come into the season very strong. Well, say strong, but topsy-turvy in terms, I say strong in the transfer market with the squad and the players that they've got on the pitch. But with them only winning 2 of the last 6 games, well, the most recent game that they won was a 3-0 victory against Everton last weekend. But it's a different team that we're going to put for Aston Villa that they're going to propose this weekend. Dean Smith has got a big task. He's got no no Leon Bailey, my mistake, my Jamaican brother. I apologize. Leon Bailey's out with a quad injury. No Twan Sebi, who, don't forget, is on loan from Manchester United. And for me, these loan signings are always interesting, because when you're on loan at another club, yeah, you can't tell me that your club's not calling up saying, "Yo, what was training saying this week?" Like, what the man did was, man, yeah. And you got to think about it. Man United's trying to win the title this season. They're calling Twan Sebi, say, "What's going on, mate? Tell us all the details." So I think with things like that, I think that will give Man United the edge today. Villa also don't have Sanson, who one of the new signings who started 10 games this season for them so far in all competitions. And he's done really well. He's done really well, fitted into the squad and bedded in really well. But also remember with Man United, the thing I'm talking about is, yes, okay, Oli's got a lot of work to do. And the level is obviously, the Tuchel level is the level that we're looking at. With obviously with the quality and class, with the fact that what I was just talking about earlier, that Tuchel can come in and he can just change it. He can just change the way that the team can play, change it to players, and the team can still play and get a result. And Oli hasn't managed to do that with changing the squad against young boys. Didn't manage to get a win. Changing the team against West Ham, getting knocked out of the cup. And my point is that now we're back into the Premier League, which you can see is his main focus. Like, we're going to have our first team. And if Man United play their first team, all their players in, with our full back four, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Luke Shaw, David De Gea in goal, it's a big prospect. Ronaldo back up front, Pogba in the middle, all right on the left, whatever suits him. Greenwood back in the fold. It's a big problem. Cavani back as well. Let's not forget, Edison Cavani's back now as well. And that adds another string to United's bow. And with Edison Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo both chomping at the bits, I don't think scoring goals is going to be a problem for Man United right now. Because I think now Martial's had his chance and hasn't able to perform right this early in the season. I think now with Cavani coming back, Cavani's going to want to stake his claim. And from there, I think it's going to be very difficult for Martial to get him back into the team. And the same way it works well for Manchester United, because you got a player in Cavani who's the ultimate professional, career professional, who's going to want to stay there, stake his claim, fighting with Ronaldo for that first team spot. Then you got Cavani, and then you got Martial, who's seen these two most experienced players going at it, really wants to get in a first team spot. And I think that might be that little kick up the arse that he needs. But let's see. But I think it might be the end for Martial. Who knows? So, and it's a very important game in regards to today as well, because remember, they're playing at the same time as Chelsea. So like it's going to be half time. It's going to be players are going to be focused, and then the mood swings in regards to. And I think that's what they've done at the same time. You know, with the atmosphere and the crowds, the fans back, and people hearing what's going on in terms of like. I think that's the atmosphere that they're trying to get on. They think they're smart, man. They think they're smart, but I think that's what they're trying to get at. You know, with people talking about the other scores and the fan with the atmosphere. So it's going to be really interesting to see today to see what goes on in that regard. So my prediction for this game. And also, sorry, before I even go into my prediction, I want to talk a bit about Sancho. I know there's been a lot of talk this week about Sancho and his performances and about Manchester United. For me, when I first saw Sancho and I knew that he was coming to Manchester United, I always knew that it was going to be a process of, I hope that he was going to be physically ready, but I did have my doubts. Not him as a player, top quality player, the money that we spent on him, well-deserved money that we spent on him. I'm talking about the physicality to play in the Premier League. Everyone always says, oh, the Bundesliga is not the same, boom, 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 things like that. And that's totally true. And the main thing for me in regards to how it's not the same is just the physicality and the pace of the league. We all know Sancho's quick. We know he's got pace and he can do things at quick dynamic pace. But what I'm talking about is the physicality to be able to withstand the intensity of the league. And I think that's what Sancho's starting to learn. And I feel within a couple months he'll get there. By Christmas time, second half of the season, you'll see Sancho, 110%, and that will be the times that we need him. And let's not forget, he's a Champions League, he's a seasoned Champions League player. So we want to go far in the Champions League, and I definitely feel in the Champions League he can do well for us this season. So in regards to the league and the Premier League, I thought just give him time, man. He's still a young boy. It's not like Bruno Fernandes, who we know kicked off straight away, but he was 26 at the time that we bought him. Sancho still got another 6 years to go. 6 years. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, Sancho's got another 6 years before he's Bruno Fernandes' age. So let's just pipe down a bit, yeah? Let's just have a little tea, just relax. Because Sancho ain't going nowhere. Just give him time. And I'm letting you know he's going to be a Man United legend. Ronaldo and Cavani there, them guys will be teaching him more. So my prediction for the game, I picked a Man United win. I'm not going to shout about it. Between 1 and 3-0. 1 and 3-0, I'll say. 1 and 3-0. One, if Man United don't perform well, I still believe that they will get the result, and that's regards to a 1-0. And I believe Man United do perform well. It could be anything between 3 and 5-0. We obviously, we know when Man United get the gears rolling, that the goals just start flooding in. So, other big games coming on today for the rest of the weekend. Before we move on to the other big game for the weekend, and we'll also talk about the P2. So we've got Everton versus Norwich. My prediction for that: Everton losing last weekend. I think they want to bounce back and get a win at home with the fans back. So say 2-0 Everton. Leeds against West Ham, another big game with the fans there. Hey, we all know about that rivalry. Hey, this one's going to be crazy. West Ham Leeds versus West Ham. But hey, listen, Yorkshire. Boy, the Hammers are coming. Come on, you Irons. But this one there is going to be a very, very interesting game. Leeds, topsy-turvy start to the season. Don't think they've won a game yet. West Ham having a good start to the season, doing well in Europe as well. Also knocked out Man United in the midweek in the Carling Cup. I could see a draw, but I would love to see our Leeds win. I would love to see a Leeds win. So let's say Leeds goes and nicks it 1-0. Leicester City versus Burnley. Leicester going through some troubles themselves. I think it's going to be a bit of a transition period for Leicester's season. A lot of players that some would have thought that would have left this summer in the transfer window, they managed to keep them. But with Leicester not being in the Champions League, and a lot of them players look like they're Champions League quality players, and it doesn't look like they're going to be getting the Champions League this season. Could be a techie one for Leicester this season. Like, don't be surprised if they finish outside of the top 6, guys. Remember, I said it, don't be surprised if they finish outside of the top 6. Leicester City versus Burnley. I'll go for Leicester City win. But I'm just saying in general, I don't feel Leicester's going to have the best of seasons. And I won't be surprised if Burnley get the win. That's just how I'm feeling. I say Leicester City because they're the players that they've got and what I expect from them, but because of the situation that going in, I can easily see Burnley winning that game. Watford versus Newcastle, interesting game. Watford playing really well this season. Ismail Sarr and Dennis been doing really, really well. Newcastle, where is there never controversy at Newcastle? You know, Mike Ashley, and he's selling. Is he selling it? What's he doing there? Transfer market, never getting any players in. I can see a Watford win. think it's just one of them things in regards to. But we say that because of Newcastle, but we know with the situation with Stephen Bruce is the players know that they can't put themselves in a position where they can't play for the manager because they've been told that the manager's going to stay. But when results just keep going the way that they're going, but the thing with Newcastle, they have been putting in decent performances. So it's just a tricky one there. It's just a tricky one what's going on with Newcastle. I just hope they can deal with the situation. I heard Gary Neville speaking about it a lot. He's always speaking about his historic club. I remember growing up always seeing Newcastle. For me, there was always a club that was in and around being just a fanfare and all everything to do with the Premier League. So yeah, like I want to see Newcastle come back to the good days. At least have a transfer market where they can sign a decent few players. Because they always manage to attract good players. Good quality. Look at Sam Maximan. He's gone into them really, really well. I think he signed a 6-year contract with them as well last season, which is a bit peculiar. But yeah, my prediction for this game, I could see a Watford win. But also that I won't be surprised if I see a Newcastle win. Considering that, I'd go for a draw. And also another big game today as well in regards to the title race is Brentford versus Liverpool. Brentford at home, first big game against the top 4 club in the Premier League. Well, I say top 4. I know they did play Arsenal, but they're not top 4 anymore, are they? Yeah, so Brentford versus Liverpool. Liverpool, big game for Liverpool. Obviously, they wanted to be keeping on tabs with the clubs above them in regards to the title race. Obviously, newly promoted team, so the Liverpool definitely will be going out their specs to get a win. Mo Salah on form, Sadio Mane on form. Liverpool definitely was talking about it last week. Looked like they got their perk back. Looked like they're ready. Looked like go. Had a good win this week. This week in the Europa League, in the Carabao Cup as well. So I'll say Liverpool win, 2-0 win. I think it just might be too much for Brentford. So, big game on Sunday. The North London derby. Yes, yes, yes. Newcastle versus Spurs. Big one. Big one. It's not a big one in regards to top 4. It's not a big one in regards to even Europa, I don't think. Not a big one in terms of titles, but it's just a big one in general. Like, this game feels a bit mad. Like, from an outsider, from a mutual perspective, I feel like this is a big, big game for both teams. That the way they both of their seasons started and the rivalry between these clubs when it comes to the North London derby, like, this is the make or break game for both of the clubs. This could be the game where they can just kick their season could start. Like, Spurs never had that best starts to the season. All the talk with Harry Kane. Obviously, Nuno Santos, manager, coming in. He's working his stuff, trying to get the team working. Has good through decent results, beating Man City. And can they, obviously, and they waned off a bit, losing a few games, but can now they go to the Emirates and pick up that result and kick on and really start push on their season? Can Harry, I know he's got 3 goals so far, Harry Kane. Can he go on and pick up? Can Dele Alli can start keeping that consistency of performances and maybe pushing himself back into the England squad? Who knows? But it's just a very big, juicy game. Arsenal without Xhaka. Spurs got Lucas back, but no Bergwijn. Interesting in that. But Spurs without no, Arsenal without no Xhaka. Interesting one. We do know that they have Partey back. Partey's been back in there. Odegaard's been playing really well. Ben White and Gabriel look like they're starting to form a little partnership together. And that right back looks decent as well. The one from Japan, Tomawanga or something like. I do apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. Please, someone let me pronounce it right. But sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly. But yeah, man, it's an interesting game in terms of when it comes to Arsenal in regards to it as well, because Spurs have won the last 6 games. Against Arsenal, not the last 6 games, won 5 out of the last 6 games, with Arsenal winning the last game that they played 2-1 in the Premier League. So interesting that in Arsenal, because over the years there was all this talk about maybe Spurs coming and being that the number ones in regards to the North London derby. But now with the likes of, I think, maybe the acquisitions that Arsenal managed to get in their club and the squad that they've managed to build up now, with the likes of Odegaard, Smith and Saka, the likes coming through, and still with the figureheads of Aubameyang and Lacazette, and now you've got this defensive partnership in Ben White and Gabriel, you do see something starting to form there at Arsenal. And yes, it will take time. And I'm not expecting a miracle. We're not expecting a miracle overnight, but little by little, you can see something, and they're starting to get the results. And obviously, Sam Supreme, we had a look. We've been talking throughout the week, and he's been giving me his little dissect, his little inverts into his Arsenal opinion. And I have taken a lot of what he's saying on board in regards to their young team. They're buying players for the future, and they've got a few young leaders in there, which I really do like. The guy from Anderlecht, and also with Ben White and that as well. So it looks like that there's something swimming at Arsenal. We'll see. I don't believe in Arteta, but me as a Man United fan, can I really believe in any manager? But yeah, we'll see. It's an interesting one. It's a big game. Big game, because Arsenal are going to want to come in and state the claim that, we're back, we're here. We won the last game, we want to win this game. We're going to finish above you this season. And obviously, Spurs as well had a good start, waning off a bit. They want to kick back on. Obviously, Santos is going to show he's the right man for the job after Jose Mourinho get his sack last season. So my prediction for this game will be, tricky one. Do you know what? I see a draw. It's such a big, them big games. None of these teams can afford to lose this game. So I see a 0-0. And that's how I see both teams planning it out. I feel like if Arsene Wenger loses, if Arteta loses this game, it's gonna be like 1 step forward, 10 steps back. And I feel like if Nuno Santo loses this game, it's gonna be like a little burner for the players. It's a new manager. You want that little spark. You want that little goal. And that North London's derby can give you that goal as a manager. But also to lose it can be a downer as well. It can be around. The feeling can be around for months. It could be the leech to your season. So Spurs definitely are going to want to go in there and get a big result. Don't forget, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Come towards the end of the show. But before we end the show, we'll hit you up with the P2. Yeah. Oh, big results over. So in the P2, they played a lot of their games yesterday. And it was a big game yesterday. Not even much of a preview, because we're a little bit of a roundup when it comes to the P2. Yeah, but terrific game yesterday in Chelsea under 23s against Liverpool under 23s. Liverpool under 23s were actually winning at half-time 3-2. But dramatically, the Chelsea under 23s come back to win the game 4-3 with Lewis Hall scoring goal at injury time. And it's such an amazing game. You see it all now. Check on our social medias all over now. The academy players, the academy teams, the games, the quality of games. The quality has always been there. When you've got young players, it's always shine, it's always talent. And it's just about, can they sustain it and just take it to the next level? But these games, they're becoming more televised, more accessible. And it's really good to see. It's really good to see these young players getting the credit they deserve. And I think it's a booster for them. And in terms of like getting that pressure early, learning to understand, getting that camaraderie around, and I think it can only bode well for the whole game. And at the end of the day, everyone wants good for everyone, and I thought with the young players getting this pedestal, and hopefully maybe this can be turned into something bigger and better, and the whole academy system can benefit, and clubs in terms of revenue, players coming through, and ultimately people just playing football and enjoying it and giving the people what they love, because we're loving it. Like, I'm loving the P2 as much as I'm loving the Premier League, if I'm being real. Like, no matter goals, the quality of play, and it's just amazing. And don't forget as well, these P2 and especially the P2, a lot of the first team players, but players that come back from injury. So some senior players can also play in the games as well. So it's not all these little kids just running around kicking a ball, even though as amazing as they are, there are also some senior players in there. So it's just great to see them getting in there and just teaching the boys and just giving a all good quality game all around. So that was just a big game. Few results. All the results are on our social media, so go check that out on Nextgen. We give you all the results every weekend. So most of the games that was played was yesterday. So I'll just give you a few of the results. West Ham won 1-0 against Crystal Palace. Good win for West Ham. West Ham is doing really well this season. Crystal Palace, I did speak about them. Like I said, same situation. A lot of the teams playing in the first team, but there's 1-2 players that I feel like they want to be getting into that first team squad. So it's definitely good to see what's going on at Crystal Palace. Everton lost 1-0 to Manchester United. Manchester United managed to get another win, 2 wins on the bounce right now. So it's good to see that they're on a little bit of form. Big game, good game as well. Leeds against Blackburn ended 4-4. Good result there. But I think the biggest game of the P2 is this weekend as well. Yeah, let's say the title merger, you call it. Yes, Man City versus Arsenal. Yes, It's a McAtee versus Tyler Height. Or is it Omari Hutchinson versus Carl Palmer? Yes, stars upon stars upon stars. This fight is going to be a big one. Two teams that we've been talking a lot in regards to the P2 and the academy system this season. Man City versus Arsenal, the game to watch this weekend in regards to the P2. We'll be giving you all the goals and highlights of the game as it comes in. Big game. Hard to predict this game in such. Obviously, both teams been having good games, and these academy games not really build up in terms of like. It's not really much of a build up in terms of like how you're going to prepare squads. Obviously, preparation for the games and whatnot, but it's very much different to first team because obviously, like if the drop of a hat, there might be a senior player that might need to get in there to get minutes, or there might be a youngster that you want to play, or this and that. There might be something you want to try out. Yeah, so it's interesting, big game. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, man. Look forward to that. Also, as well, guys, don't forget as well, if you want to join us tomorrow on the fan special show, don't forget to hit us up on the Instagram, on the DMs. Yes, we'll be from tomorrow. We'll be bringing in the fans. We'll bring in everyone. If you have your own podcast, if you just want to talk about football, even if you're not a football fan and you just want to have your opinion, yeah, just get us, shout us on the DMs. We want to get you guys involved. When we go live, we'll be hitting you guys up and we'll be making sure you guys can get involved. So, guys, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your days. Sorry that I was late for the previous show. And yeah, I'll be giving you the roundup show on Sunday, 9 o'clock. Stay tuned. Make sure you put the bell on, and we will see you then. Have a good day.